Om Shanti. I hope everyone is doing well and keeping safe. Am I audible? Just uh, am I audible? I can hear my echo.
Yes, we
Okay,
are hearing you.
okay. Thank you. Om Shanti. I hope everyone is doing well and keeping safe. Good evening and welcome to our refreshing Sunday evening talk, which is organized by Brahmakumari Shanti Sarovar, Hyderabad. Today's topic is safe care. So we have to understand what exactly is safe care. Based on my knowledge, I believe that how well we can take care of oneself or each other without being emotionally disturbed or taking that emotional pain. But maybe we can get more thoughts about this from our today's special guest, that is Sister Sharona. Sister, I just want to just take 2 minutes to introduce Sister Sharona. So, Sister Sharona is the director of Brahmakumari's Israel location. She is born up in United States and holds a degree in adult education from University of Sorbonne in France, where she lived and worked for around 10 years at Adult Education Research Center. Thereafter, in 1983, she came across with Brahmakumaris in Paris, where she started her spiritual journey. Soon after she started her journey, she had a life transforming experiences of God and her own eternal identity as a soul. And such experience became part of her daily life and adopted this unique technique of BK form that is called as open-eyed meditation. Hence, in 1984, on an invitation to open the first center in Boston, USA, Sharona returned to USA and she spent around 15 years in teaching and overseeing the work of BK as well as working as a senior faculty in Boston University. Post that in 1998, Sharona was invited to work with BK Israel. Since then, she remained in Israel working for spiritual empowerment for all people and unification of different parts of society through education and practice of Raja Yoga meditation. Through her abundance experience over like 40 years in spirituality, Sharona has been traveling over the world to deliver one message called as inner peace and hope with wisdom, simplicity, and good dose of humor. With that being said, I welcome Sister Sharona to Shanti Sarovar. Just for the information, Sister Sharona has conducted a lot of silent retreats in Shanti Sarovar. So this time she has traveled from Israel to Hyderabad virtually just for us. Welcome, Sister.
Thank you. Such a lovely welcome. And
Our
it does
pleasure to
feel
have
good.
you.
It does feel good to be in Shanti Sarovar again, let me tell you.
It's our pleasure to have you all the time. So,
Thank you.
one more thing, like in case anyone has any questions related to the topic during the session, so please keep them posted in our chat window if it is Zoom. Else, if you're listening this session through YouTube, then you can post your questions in form of comments, and we can bring up those questions to our sister during our Q&A round. So, sister, can you please enlighten us with this concept called as safe care, and is it as simple as it sounds to implement in our daily life?
Thank you. Thank you, Debbie Ben. So, first of all, I must say that the way I would say this title is safe caring. Safe caring. And we have to think about what is it? Is the caring we do not safe? It might be worthwhile looking into this because there is such a need these days to be caring. We are in such times. People are so distressed. It's like there's no end to the situations, the relationships, family, colleagues at work that need our care. So what would
Sister,
make our caring? Did
uh,
you want to
s-
say something,
no,
Devi?
yeah, sorry to interrupt. I just request all the participants to be on video so that we can make it more interactive with our sister Sharona. Thank you.
So what is the need for safe caring? About 2 years ago, actually before the corona age started, I heard somebody giving a lecture on compassion fatigue. And that was before the corona. So if we were fatigued in our ability to be compassionate, to be caring before the corona, what's happened to it now? Many of us could feel that we're at an all-time low in our energy to take care of ourselves, let alone to take care of others. So let's explore it a bit. What would be a synonym for safe caring? Would it be unconditional caring? What do you think? Synonym for safe caring. Would it be unlimited caring? Anybody have a thought? You can write it in the chat. Safe caring, what would it be?
I would say maybe protective.
Ah,
I guess I can say protective.
productive.
And we
And
got
someone,
response caring
yeah,
first for ourselves.
yes. Actually, Devi, Ben, I'm comfortable reading from the chat myself because there aren't too many people, so it should be all right.
Sure.
But yeah, first of all, caring for ourselves. So this actually is the definition that I would give safe caring to. I would call it a kind of caring in which I'm caring for myself as much as I'm caring for others. Safe caring, caring for myself as much as I'm caring for others. This doesn't make me selfish. This is just looking at the reality of what it takes to be available to another, truly available. Not just one thing on the outside, but inside, irritated and aggravated by the demands. So what do we mean by caring for myself as much as I'm going to care for someone else? Because there are many ways that we take care of ourselves. We will exercise, we will watch our diet, we'll go on vacation. All of these things take care of us physically, and we do need to make time for that, including rest, appropriate amount of rest, medicines where they're needed. But the kind of caring that will make for safeness will not come from caring on a physical level. We need to care for the mind. We need to take care of our mind because the start of everything is the mind. The mind is the start of everything. Very powerful, our thoughts, as you would know. If you look around you, everything beautiful you see in your room, the chairs, the pictures on the wall, the lamps, all of that started as a thought in someone's mind. So thought is such a creative energy, but it can also be very destructive. So how does it work? If I'm holding anything negative in my mind, anything negative, like worry, when we care for someone or we're caring about a situation, there could be so much worry, or fear, or sadness. Any kind of negativity in the mind is destructive to me. It damages my battery, reduces my capacity, first and foremost. But secondly, the atmosphere is not empty. Vibrations fill it. Where do those vibrations come from? From the people. So if I'm in that energy of sadness or worry or fear, that's the energy filling the environment, surrounding the people and the situations, and it just discharges their battery even more. So we both get weak. We both get weaker. All because in my caring, I haven't started with taking care of my mind. My mind. So what we'll see is that that's a tall order, if you know that expression in English. It's not a small thing to take care of the fears, the sadness, or the hurt, or the anger, or the irritability. So where does it start? And so this expression, which I think Devi Ben kind of alluded to, and I think someone else as well, where it starts and what the practice has to be is to cultivate emotional independence. Such a nice concept, if you think about it. Emotional independence. So the situation can be very sad. The situation can be very demanding. The situation, the person can be very intimidating. Situation could be frightening. But emotional independence means I am not affected by that. I am free from whatever are the feelings, the emotions, the energies of everyone else and the atmosphere. Free from all of that. Can you imagine yourselves walking through difficulties and challenges charged with the emotions of the people and the situation, and you are like an incense stick. You perfume the atmosphere, you influence and change the atmosphere instead of you being influenced and getting extinguished, put out. Such a beautiful concept, and many of us would have always wanted to be that kind of influence on a person or a situation. We always wanted to bring some upliftment, something really good. But if we're honest, it's become harder and harder because instead of being emotionally independent, we've actually become quite emotionally dependent, very influenced, and in the opposite way, very needy. So we could have seen a lot of selfishness in our caring. We needed people to think we were good. We needed people to think, to like us, to smile at us, to approve of us. This is an emotional dependency, very connected. It's like the other side of the same coin. Emotional independence. Very, very nice to think about it. So I am free from all those influences and free to be what I really want to be. Genuinely centered, stable, peaceful, which enables me to be kind, generous, tolerant, forgiving, whatever's needed. Free from the negativity outside and inside, and free to respond as I have been made to respond and to be. So, anybody want to say anything before we move on to the next part? Because I have a little game I'd like to play with you. But you're all okay with everything so far? Clear? Agreed? Maybe yes, maybe no. Yes. Okay. So let's play this little game now. If I could have our brother in the studio put on this game of cards, and that would be spotlighted. There we go. So you can start it. Yeah. And just hold it there. If you could pause a minute. What we have here in front of us are 4 cards, 4 different colors. So you have to go to the color which speaks to you. You have to choose a color. It's not too much of a brain thing, it's just a feeling. Everybody have their color? Okay. So if you chose the red, can you continue the video so we can see what's on the other side of red? Love. You chose a card, and you'll need to pause this now, brother. You chose a card about love. And this card, oh, sorry, I just have to turn something off. This card that you chose is telling you that this is a specialty that you have. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been drawn to this color. Love. Your peaceful presence carries no trace of judgment, enabling others to express the powers to face and forgive. This is a beautiful quality. Of course, this is just a game we play. You might be all familiar with it, but if you chose that card, it means this is your specialty. You have this. Your peaceful presence carries no trace of judgment. This enables others to work with the power to face and the power to forgive. Congratulations. Okay, let's continue. The green card. If you chose the green card, let's see what that is. Courage. If you chose this card, it's because you are very courageous. And your courage empowers others to stand for what they believe in, rather than fall before what they fear. So you can just stop it here, brother, or pause it rather. Courage. Your courage empowers others to stand for what they believe in, rather through fear, give up on their beliefs and thus fall from their truths. So we can continue. You chose the blue card. Ah, royalty. What is that? Just by being yourself, souls receive a vision of one who's brave of heart and truthful in nature. Royal. If you chose this card, it means this is a quality that you have just by being yourself. Souls can understand what it looks like, someone who is brave of heart and truthful in nature. So we can continue. And the last card, if you chose the purple, what is your specialty? Unity. You bring the vision of harmony and understanding. Oops, can we go back to that? You bring the vision of harmony and understanding to every endeavor, ensuring that there will be success. Unity. As if unity is what guarantees success. Anyone who can bring unity brings a vision of harmony, a vision of understanding to every endeavor, and in this way ensures that there will be success. Very good. We can continue. So there we are. You can pause it once again. In this gathering of 20 souls, just see the vibrations that are going into the atmosphere by remembering, by knowing this part of yourself. Love, courage, royal, unity. We all have such beautiful specialties. Okay, thank you. That's our game. So now, first question, do you believe that you have this quality? Do you believe it? Or do you think it's just a game? Do you believe that this is who you are? No matter how much ego could have crept in, or impatience, intolerance, that this is what's really in there. Do you believe it? This means yes. This means no. Yeah, I can see you. Yeah. And then how does it make us feel? How does it make us feel to be told that this is our specialty, that this is who I am, and that there are all these other beautiful people around me? How does it make you feel? How do you feel playing this game? I think you need, somebody made the heart. Yes, you can also write in the chat. How does it make you feel? Don't believe it? Yes, good. Somebody said good. It makes me feel good. Doesn't it make us feel good even to know that these words exist? If the word is there, it must be connected to something real, something that really exists. Aren't we happy just to be in front of such beautiful words? So we feel happy. We feel good, right? So this actually is because this is what we are. We like this. We feel good about it because this is how we were made. This is how we were intended to be. No matter what's entered the personality, no matter what's entered the character. I don't like to be irritated. I don't like to be stressed. I don't like to be angry or rejecting because that's not what I'm made of. Those are not the original energies of the soul. The innate original self is divine, and this is the expression of that divinity. That's why we feel good with a game like this. And I can tell you in Israel, we have these cards, 26 different qualities. And we go everywhere with them, in the buses, in the shops. And we put it like this and ask people to choose. And at first they're a little bit suspicious and they don't know what that is. And this is a very religious country. So they're very suspicious of anything, especially me. I'm not in the usual Western dress, but you should see their faces when they read the card. And then I explain to them that it's just a game, but it's fun to imagine that you pick that because that is your specialty. And actually, they all say, it's true. Actually, it's true. I do have this kind of magical. But literally, I meet people 2 years later, 5 years later, that received a card from me, either in a shop or at some program. And they run to tell me, sister, look, see the card. I still have it. Old and frayed, they've kept it in their wallet because it does feel good to have such a mirror as to who I really am. And of course, this is the first step in taking safe care. In the way we said, I have to be able to care for myself as much as I care for others, but that caring has to be, first and foremost, caring for my mind, caring for my emotions. And of course, this is the first step, connecting with those original qualities. This is what a spiritual practice is for. Yoga, meditation, enables us to go right past all the habitual personality traits, stress, stubbornness, defensiveness, go right down into the deep where those beautiful, godly qualities are sitting. And we sit there and we're colored by that. We become more convinced that they're real. I'm not just imagining it. And I'm sitting there in yoga feeling peaceful, feeling good, feeling happy. From there, making the connection with the Supreme Soul, God, the source of all of those energies, feeling that love, feeling joy. So this is how I can end up emotionally independent. Because as much as I prove to myself that inside me is divinity, beautiful qualities, and that's how I'm made, and that's how I'm supposed to be, and that's why I want to be like that, then what happens is it's more and more easy to remember in any situation of challenge that my reaction is not my only option. You know, before we would have had this introduction to our highest, most beautiful self, before we would have experienced these beautiful qualities deep inside us as energies in meditation, if somebody lied to us, or if somebody was very sick, this, these were the emotions. I'd be worried, I'd be stressed, or I'd be hurt. We didn't really feel we had an option. These were the emotions. But through our spiritual practice, experiencing this other part of me, which is very centered, very stable, very wise, more and more during my day, I'm able to remember that I do have a choice. And that reacting and being stressed or being afraid or being worried is only one option. There are alternatives, and further, those are very damaging options, destructive, as I was saying before. So I start choosing to experiment. That card said, I'm royal. That card said, I'm courageous. That card said, I'm loving. What is that? Try it. Not externally as a performance that we've been doing forever, but go deep into that other space inside you. It's beyond the mind, like a sanctuary, an inner sanctuary, which is just free from all that stuff outside and inside. Touch that. Touch your courage to stand for what you believe in. Touch your power to unify people. Harmony, unity. Touch that love. And then come back into the situation with really something to offer, really something to contribute, not performance, but from the energy itself inside. This very much helps us to stay emotionally independent. So, for example, I used to live with a sister, spiritual sister. I had to repeat everything I said to her twice because she never seemed to focus or pay attention. She was always very busy and always multitasking, and it really was irritating to me. It was so irritating. But then I said, hang on, I'm a yogi. This irritation is this really caring? Caring for her, caring for the relationship, caring for myself? This irritation is damaging to me. It's going to deplete and drain me. Thus, you get your compassion fatigue, right? So I considered my options. One of them being just acceptance. This is how she is. It's just the way she is. Not that emotional independence means you don't care. You're cold, you're detached, you're distant, and you just let everybody get on with things. But it means that your caring can become more kindly, with more wisdom and more effectiveness. So when I started practicing just accepting her as she is, then I found a time just to sit with her. And instead of being irritated, speaking with irritation, or even bringing those feelings of irritation, I said, you know, what do you think? This is what I notice. And I could just approach the whole thing so differently. It means you can start bringing in energies that uplift. How great for people who are sick, people who are worried, and we want to care for them. How great if I come into it, not with the energies of my own worry, my own stress and fear, but something else completely, like my faith, my lightness, my trust. Of course, we need power for this. We need a good spiritual study. We need a good spiritual practice, which first of all enables us to connect with those energies deep inside, and then also the energies above coming to us from God. But we also need to have a good understanding of the larger picture of it all. Spirituality should give us a picture, a larger picture of what's going on and how truly there is a plan. No matter what it looks like in the world, where it seems it's just one bad thing happening after another, and so much chaos and confusion. No, our spiritual study reminds us there is a plan, and there is a great intelligence operating that plan. Caring for myself, to understand all these things which are beyond the physical eyes, beyond the physical, connect to them, experience them. The reality of eternity, the reality of goodness, the reality of the power of goodness, the reality of time. How we would be as if in the winter of humanity now. But winter never lasts forever. Spring always comes. So with this, my caring can become so safe. Meaning what? What's a synonym now for safe caring? What would you say? We could call it powerful caring, because it uplifts. It introduces a whole new energy. Powerful caring. What else? Healthy caring. Self-centered in a good way, right? Not self-centered in a selfish way, but centering myself in the highest self. Healthy caring. In other words, my caring is coming from a space inside me, which is independent of anything negative and generates goodness, positivity, hope, faith, harmonious caring. Isn't that nice? And first and foremost, I'm in harmony with my healthy, powerful self. Natural caring. I care from what is natural and original to the soul. These qualities are how I have been made. All the other stuff is extra, man-made, acquired. It's not according to the original blueprint. Natural caring, true caring, true caring. Why true caring? Because this is the caring that God offers. It doesn't matter how I am in front of God. It doesn't matter the sadness I bring, the fear I bring, the worry, the arrogance that maybe also I was acting with before I came and put myself in front of him. He accepts me as I am and looks only at the original blueprint. This is a very, very beautiful aspect of making myself emotionally independent. Relationship with God in new ways in which I experience his vision of faith on me. He's always looking at my beauty, no matter what. And because of that, my beauty is beginning to get strong. It's emerging. My beauty, it means my love, my unity power, my royalty, my courage. It's getting stronger. It's emerging. It's coming more and more into my awareness. Every time I'm about to react, I now remember I have a larger menu. I have a choice. So my spiritual study, my spiritual practice, emotional detachment, new ways of having a relationship with God. Self-care is only possible when I'm not expecting something from the other side. Is this true? So that's a question that's come up. We're going to come back to that afterwards. But yeah, basically, this is what I wanted to share with you. So that's exactly why we need this emotional independence, because one of the biggest emotions that we will suffer from is not the emotions coming from others, but one particular emotion coming from inside me, and that is judging, the attitude of judging. How many times I'm going through my day with an opinion about everything. I'll even have an opinion about the way she's wearing her hair or the color of her dress. This criticizing, commenting, judging. It's very, very, it's the mother of expectations. So there's another sister, for example, that I know. It was, I didn't want to work with her because she wasn't honest. She was always really one thing on the outside, something else completely, sorry, something else on the inside. And it was very hard to work with her, mostly because I would always find out later that what she said or what she did is not what she said she would do or say. It's very hard to work with her. And so my reaction was actually to reject, to step away, to oppose. But then again, it's like I'm resisting her, I'm resenting her, I'm rejecting her. That's a choice. I can't say that she made me so angry all the time. She made me so um, disturbed. This was my choice. So, again, as a yogi, beginning to connect with that other part of myself, more options available, more choices, deeper understanding about the damage I was doing to myself, let alone her, and the relationship, the situation, by holding such feelings. So I started experimenting. Instead of that rejecting feeling, instead of that opposing feeling, I started experimenting with just accepting her as she is. This is the way she is. Now, this kind of caring doesn't mean passive. It's not that I'm passive in front of people who are doing wrong things or situations which are wrong. It's just that I remove from the dynamic at least half the negativity. Half means coming from me. And I'm able to start bringing in something more constructive. Like, for example, being able to understand that just as I have changed, I've really changed, thanks to God's vision of faith on me. Let me look at her with that faith that she's also very good. Underneath all that lying or whatever, there would be also divinity. Maybe she hasn't had many opportunities in life to know that or experience that. So why shouldn't I be a mirror of that to her? And again, if something needs to be said, I will still say it. If something needs to be done, I will still do it. But I will do it with such a different energy. And that energy moves things forward, which is what we want. We want the people around us that we want to care for, the relationships that we want to care for, the situations that we feel responsible for. We want them to move forward. So this is the way. A method that uplifts me and so uplifts everything around me. That makes all my caring productive, efficient, and safe. Devi, what should we do now?
Firstly, it was really a very nice session. We learned a lot as to what exactly safe care that starts from caring of ourself, especially our mind. That was a
Yeah.
very interesting concept, especially the emotional independence. You so clearly explained it. Thank you so much, Sister Sharon. It was really nice. Maybe we can start taking the questions now. We have two questions. One which you already read through, that is safe care is possible only when I'm not expecting the others from others. Is that true?
Yeah, and in addition to what I said, see this judgment, this attitude of judging creates expectations.
Right.
And expectations are a one-way road to negative energies.
So, with that being said, there's a question with respect to the judgment. So, in case now we say that we should not be judgmental, rather accept the things as they are, right? So there's a question that poses that if we lose the power to judge, don't we lose the power to discern between what is good and what is bad?
See, I would call that not judging as much as discerning. We need the power to discern. But then, what do we need it for? Not to blame someone else, accuse someone else, distance myself from someone else because I have discerned that what they're doing is wrong. I need discerning power so that I can upgrade my own protection. So that when I'm in front of that person, I can be truly caring in a safe way. Because we're not going to abandon people because we have discerned that they're on the wrong track. We're not going to abandon them. Right?
Right. So probably we should not confuse the word discern with discriminate, opinionated.
Yeah. Discerning and judging, two different things.
Different concepts.
Yeah.
Okay. So any other questions? I guess BK Rao wants to talk something.
Maybe to put it in the chat might be safer. If he could write it out. Or if he would like to speak it, we can try. I just hope I can catch it. Can you unmute?
No, yes, yes. Om Shanti sister, I am calling
Om
from
Shanti.
USA, Los Angeles. I was in Los Angeles right now. Acha, you tell me what the difference between opportunities and tolerance to take self-care at that time. Opportunities and reactions. How to take self-care?
Let me check that I've understood, brother. Are you saying what is the difference between self-care, knowing that this is an opportunity to take care of myself truly, and say just coming into reaction?
Yes.
Is that? Yeah, okay. All right. Let me think a moment. You'll notice that I don't hesitate to say, let me take a moment. This is actually an aspect of self-care. What am I doing in that moment? I'm just going within, coming into that sacred space within, and seeing what I know about all of this. Not just a head thing, not just a heart thing, but in that space, there's both. And there's also God, godliness. So if I understand your question correctly, I would say that pain is the indication that I am in reaction. And the way I deal with the pain is to see whatever's happening in that moment as an opportunity to take care of myself, starting with caring for my mind. In other words, whatever is the reaction, stress or hurt. I'm hurt by what this person said, or I'm timid or shy. Okay. But going to that inner sanctuary reminds me I have other options. And those other options are so important to practice. It is about practice. On the one hand, there's our spiritual study and our meditation and our yoga. That's when I'm sitting down. But all of it needs to be practiced in the moment, during the day, when these emotional pain comes, right then and there. I have to see what are the alternatives and take that 30 seconds to go to that place where all options are available, constructive, powerful, godlike options. This is what is going to move humanity out of its winter and into its spring. When enough of us are doing this, we don't need 7.5 billion people to do this. We just need the critical mass number of people to do this. Right now, it is fashionable to be angry, to stand my ground with violence, almost as if it's fashionable to be dishonest. Because people who are dishonest and push and aggressive and violent, they're getting ahead. They're getting the promotions. And the kind, the good, the nice ones are being left behind. They're being pushed off the stage, let alone out of the limelight. But we're creating a new fashion. And it's going to be the new norm. Goodness. But goodness with teeth in it, goodness with power in it, goodness with the real energy of it. Because this was the only problem. The reason it looks like goodness, virtue, qualities, divinity was losing ground was because it didn't have any strength in it. We were just operating on empty. We were told to be nice, so we're nice. But the real power of that goodness, that's practice, that's spiritual study, meditation, yoga, and then the practice in real life.
Om Shanti, sister. Om Shanti. Thank you very much.
Very good question. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Sister,
Pardon?
we have one more question that, I mean, maybe two questions I can combine together. It's on a similar form. So, in continuation with what you have told, so when someone is actually trying to get that kind of self-care for themselves, but they are living in such kind of an environment where nothing around them is positive, and it's really very hard for them to come out of that situation. So, what kind of advice you would be able to provide to them, so so that they can even empower or uplift their own their self, and rather getting impacted, they want to create an impact.
Okay. Again, let me just take a few seconds. Once again, I feel that here is where we see that our spirituality is another energy to bring into the dynamic. We need power to move humanity out of winter into spring. We need power to bring a relationship out of winter into spring. We need power to bring ourselves out of our own personal winter into spring. It takes power. It's not going to be mental power. It's not going to be intellectual power. It's not going to be physical power. Spiritual power is another resource for us. So our spiritual study keeps pointing us to explore, go deeper, and take. Take more from that inner sanctuary by taking more from God. Spiritual power is a secret weapon of God's, which he doesn't even want to keep secret. He wants everyone to know about it. But it's as if it's a secret power because people aren't using it. They're still trying to deal with others and themselves through every other kind of means. And all of these other means are failing. That's the importance and the beauty of the Corona period. We're really up against the wall. And we have to admit, if we're honest, that we are failing. It's getting harder and harder to keep a happy face. It's getting harder and harder to hold a vision of hope and faith, let alone give that to others. And yet, this is going to be the new fashion. It is going to be the new norm, starting with me, right? Starting with me. So don't shortchange. If you know this expression, don't shortchange your spiritual power. Maybe you need to attend the center more often. Maybe you need to sit a little bit extra in yoga. Maybe there needs to be some newness in the way you're studying on your spiritual path. But that spiritual power is the only effective remedy to protect myself from all the negativity going on around and inside, and be a lighthouse, be a flag bearer for something new. Needs a lot of power, if I'm honest. And I can say this power is being restored in me. I see it. I'm more and more able to remember my choices, more and more able to go for the constructive choice, more and more easily, more and more naturally. It means the soul is purifying. But if I look at how did that happen, I really see it's so much less to do with any effort of mine and so much more to do with my new ways of relating to God. Understanding him, not just as God, but my father, my friend, my mother, and allowing love to come to me from him. You know, they say love makes the world go round. All we need is love. Nya, 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 nya. This is true, but we need the real love. We need the raw energy of love. My spiritual practice should connect me to God in new ways so that I really can come into this relationship and experience how I am loved by God. You know, we try so hard to love others, but that shouldn't be an effort. Love is the natural energy that connects us. In English, we see it. Love is a verb. It's the only quality of the soul that's a verb. The qualities of the soul otherwise are peace and joy and purity. But love is a verb. We don't say, I peace you or I joy you. We say, I love you, because that's the one energy which jumps the soul and actually connects us. Not just soul to soul, but first and foremost to the Supreme Soul. And from that connection, we again are able to start connecting to each other. It means that love from him cleans out the tubes that naturally connect us to each other and makes us feel, what is this love? It makes us feel the connection that is. It makes us feel belonging. It should not be an effort.
Right.
So that spiritual practice, that love from God is going to help a lot.
So the key is the spiritual power.
Say that again.
So the key is the spiritual power so that our path is clean.
In one word, spiritual power to me is godly, eternal, spiritual love.
Right.
And nobody knows it. It's amazing, isn't it? Nobody knows it. And how are they going to know it? Because that's the basis of the new fashion. They're going to know it. But they're going to know it through us.
Right.
My face, our face. New fashion, spring coming. You know, the other day we had a meeting here in Israel. And this meeting, this team that meets usually, everyone is a high-powered professional, meaning everyone has their own opinion. You can understand where I'm going with this. Meetings can be stressful if we're not careful. We're all yogis, so we're careful. But we decided to have a different kind of meeting the other day. We didn't meet regarding the service. We just met on an interesting reflection question. We had an interesting video, which made the reflection go even deeper. So we were just turning. We were just going deep into these spiritual truths, and we laughed a lot, and we had a lot of fun. And after the meeting, I asked a few souls, how was that meeting for you? Because some might have been disappointed that we didn't take up the subject. Others might have been irritated that we didn't take up the subject, but I was feeling maybe we shouldn't do any of those meetings for a while, and maybe we should have this kind of meeting. So I was checking in with a few souls, and this is exactly what one sister said. I messaged her. I said, so what was your feeling after that meeting? Because it was a Zoom meeting, right?
Mhm.
So she sent me back a message with little musical notes and saying, love is in the air, love is in the air, musical notes. This is what it's about. We have to clean out, I mean, just as it is original blueprint of me to be godly, divine qualities, the original blueprint of our connectedness and our one humanity is this belonging and one family. So this is the task of now. Help God restore that.
Yes, sister. Thank you so much, sister. It was really a very wonderful session. Being that said, I guess we don't have any other further questions from the audience as of now. So maybe we can do the meditation part now.
Very nice. I take a few minutes to turn within. I know that there is something more within besides just the crazy mind, the busy mind, the preconditioned negative mind often. I know that turning within, I can go right past the mind, as if the mind is a room may be filled with piles of thoughts, emotions, feelings, but way at the back of the room of my mind is a door. So, turning within, I may very well need to walk into the room of my mind, but I just keep going straight to the back, to the door of my mind, and through that door to that inner sacred space which exists. Beautiful space. In my sacred space, I am free, completely free, independent of whatever goes on in the mind or whatever goes on in the atmosphere and the situations around me. I so much enjoy knowing that there is such a place inside me. And as I'm just being there in that inner sanctuary, if any thoughts from my mind reach me, thoughts of worry, reactive thoughts, busyness, it just means I haven't closed the door enough. Close that door and come to this part of you which is completely clean, completely free of anything violent in any way. Here, we just relax. Here, we become confident about the value of golden silence. Here, in all this freedom and independence, there is so much peace. And I feel so comforted by this peace, as if I'm sitting on cushions of gentle quiet, and being strengthened through this peace, peace, peace. And in this experience, easily I become aware of the larger picture. I am a soul. And this sacred part of me is the real me, the true me. Because I, the soul, am the child of God. And just with this awareness of the larger picture, it's as though I am opened to the awareness of rays of golden peace coming to me from beyond. In my sanctuary, my sacred space, I open myself to God's rays of golden light, reaching me like the arms of a mother, reaching to hold her beautiful child. That is me. I am that beautiful child of this most beautiful mother, father, the supreme soul, God. Do you remember what it feels like to be in these arm-like rays of God's love, cherished like a newborn child? God looks at me with such a vision of pride, confidence, trust, as if to say, yes, my child, I know you are the one who's going to help me turn the fashion and bring goodness as a power back to the soul of humanity. You are more valuable to me than anything. Because you are mine, I am yours. And this is a story. This is an experience of eternity, of truth. And as I begin a return journey back to the consciousness of the physical, consciousness of my body, through which I will play this part of an instrument for the godly task. I take with me this experience of light, golden silence, peace, love, joy, so that I can serve my mind with these and thus have something of true value to serve everyone else, all my brothers and sisters, the whole world. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister.
There is a song, if we can play that while we're looking at the video. If there's time, otherwise it's okay. Maybe we can just add some of the song.
How could anyone ever
How
tell you
could anyone ever tell you
anything less than
that you're
beautiful?
anything
How
less
could
than beautiful?
anyone ever tell you
How could anyone ever tell you
than whole?
that you're less
How
than
could
whole?
anyone fail to
How could
notice
anyone fail
that
to
your
notice
loving is a
that your loving
miracle?
is a
How
miracle
deeply you're
that so deeply
connected to
connects
my
us
soul?
to my soul?
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
and you imagine that this is God speaking to me. This is how God can speak. How could you ever think you're anything less than beautiful and whole?
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Very beautiful song, sister. This was. Thank you so much. Once again, it's really an immense pleasure to have you here, and looking forward to meet you in person in Santi Sarovar very soon. I hope so. So,
Thank
thank you.
you. Thank you. Lovely to be with you. I see some faces that I recognize. Mahesh Pai is there. Very lovely gathering.
Thank you once again. And um in case if everyone loved this video, I'm sure that everyone did love the session. So please do like, comment, and subscribe Shanti Sarovar Hyderabad YouTube channel so that you get to learn a lot of more stuff like this and meet amazing teachers, BK professionals going forward. Thank you. Om Shanti.